of the negotiation and said that we're going to give monopolies in the production of fiber. We're going to give monopolies in the production of fuel. We're going to give monopolies in the production of medicine to the synthetic manufacturers, the people who do not need land as a means of producing wealth, but in fact have synthetic processes and patents and buildings wherein they produce the basic commodities of civilization. And that was in 1937. And today, take a look at where the farmer is and where the farm economy is. The farmer doesn't produce any fuel. There's some farmers produce some corn ethanol in Iowa, in Indiana, and Illinois. We should be producing hemp as a fuel in Kentucky in the form of methanol. Grab that niche in the agriculture market, but it's politics that's keeping us from doing it. Why? Because the petroleum companies don't want the competition. They've been awarded a monopoly by the criminalization of farmers who wish to compete with them by producing fuel in the natural cycle. Take a look at the medicine. The farmers criminalized from producing medicine in competition with the synthetic pharmaceutical manufacturers. That's not because of consumer demand. Everybody knows consumer demand is a lot of people want to smoke marijuana as a medicine, but they're criminalized from doing it because of the importance of monopoly in the synthetic pharmaceutical sector. Take a look at fiber. Half the fiber on Earth today is synthetic fiber, nylon, and produced out of petroleum by DuPont. There's be a hell of a market in natural fibers that we could grow in. It's the longest, strongest fiber in the whole plant kingdom. And if you go into a grocery store and look at the ingredients on a package, you'll find out how rapidly the farmers being displaced in their heritage of food production. It's all been taken over by the synthetic manufacturers who, in producing the synthetic products, create the toxic waste and the hazardous byproducts with which we have such a tough time dealing. So this change from production and the distribution and the profit sharing from the natural cycle, which naturally diffuses it to much more people, has now been narrowed increasingly in concentrated wealth on the synthetic cycle. And the natural cycle producers have been criminalized for competition with these people. That is, but cannabis is the #1 crop for fiber. It's 3 times stronger than cotton. You don't need pesticides and herbicides to grow it. It is the #1 fuel. It's the most synthetic efficient plant on the planet. It's the #1 medicine. Prior to its legalization in 1937, it was the basis of 50% of patent medicine on Earth. And its seed is one of the most nutritious foods you can put in your body. So this particular plant has been vilified, and people have been criminalized, and millions of people have been victimized by law enforcement's utilization. Law enforcement's been utilized by the monopoly holders, the synthetic manufacturers, who don't want the farmers ever to get back into competition with the production of these basic synthetics. That is why, Patrick, that the Partnership for Drug-Free America, which is the cutting edge, the broad sword of the so-called anti-drug folks, that is why the Partnership for Drug-Free America is totally financed by the Chemical Manufacturers Association. The people, the synthetic manufacturers, are funding this war on drugs and beating us about the head and throwing us in jail and shooting us if we stop them at the door and trying to protect our castle. And it's a war on the people, this war on drugs is, and I'm forsworn against it. It's tyranny, it's fascism, and I'm gonna fight it in the courts. I'm gonna fight it in the streets. I'm gonna fight it wherever it needs to get fought. I want to fight it in the minds of public opinion. This is failed policy, folks. If you are against drugs, if you don't want your children to have anything to do with drugs, and you're against drugs, then certainly you should examine the current condition of the so-called war on drugs and see that you're throwing a hell of a lot of good tax money after failed policy.
We so happy we alive, we together can survive. Stop the bullshit, stop the lies. Now's the time to legalize. Tell me, brother, tell me true. What the hell we gonna do? Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive. We together can survive. But Mother Nature, heaven sent, don't belong to government. Hey there, sister, what's the plan? Do you really understand? Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive, we together